One part of the childcare ecosystem that simply isn't working, particularly for our sector, is that of regulation and inspection. This isn't new. This is something that has been happening since the new regulation came in 2008. But we've lived with it. We've worked our way through it. We understand it to a greater or lesser extent now. But is it okay that in 2025, this isn't working? What we know is that our regulation system for providers in our sector, in the wraparound childcare sector, means that they have to be registered on at least 2 different registers with 2 separate sets of guidance and registration documents, a whole entire set of inspection expectations. Particularly for providers in our sector, they will be registered on at least 2 different registers. Each of those registers has their own set of guidance, their own expectations. That translates into the inspection process as well. We have an inspectorate that focuses primarily on our youngest children. And yes, we know that our youngest children are the most vulnerable. And so, of course, it is important that we focus on their needs as a priority. But we also have a whole school-age childcare system that is operating within a set of regulations and an inspection process that isn't fit for purpose, that is trying to fit that square peg into the round hole. Just because it's been that way for a long time doesn't mean that we can accept that it moves forward in this way forever. And we're pleased to see that there's some talk starting to emerge about how this might change. For us as a sector, I think what we need to do is to start agreeing amongst ourselves what our minimum standards actually look like. I think we need to agree what we feel is quality, how we want to be measured. Do we really want to go back to a system where we are having graded inspections? Are our inspectorate the right people to be telling us whether or not our childcare provision is good or outstanding? Should we be having single word gradings? There's a lot that goes into it. But what we know at the moment is that childcare ecosystem around regulation and inspection is definitely not working. So many providers will tell me that the removal of the single word grading from their quality judgment was destructive to them, that they felt that nobody was paying attention to the quality of what they did, that they could go from being an outstanding provider to only ever receiving a grading of met. How is that something that we can explain to parents without it sounding like we've done something wrong? Making decisions about regulation and inspection moving forward has to take account of the fact that what we do in our sector is different, that we aren't early educators, we aren't childminders operating from our own homes, we are specialists in children's play, and we need a system that works for us. We need to come together, we need to work out what we mean by quality, and we need to be asking for that level playing field as we go forward and hopefully looking at changes to the regulation and inspection system for our sector.